Here's why Janelle Brown always felt Meri was disconnected from the Sister Wives family. For over a decade, Sister Wives has given audiences an inside look into the controversial and often complicated world of polygamy. At the center of the show is Kody Brown, the polygamist patriarch, and his 4 wives, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn Brown. Through its portrayal of Kody's plural marriage, the series delves into the dynamics of family life, sibling rivalry, romantic struggles, and the ups and downs of managing multiple marriages. While each relationship in the Brown family has faced its own set of unique challenges, one dynamic that has consistently garnered attention is the relationship between Janelle and Meri Brown. As 2 of Kody's wives, Janelle and Meri have spent years navigating the complex emotional terrain of a plural marriage, but over time, Janelle has often expressed feeling disconnected from Meri. This emotional distance has sparked both curiosity and concern from fans, many of whom have watched the tensions between the 2 women unfold on screen. In this deep dive, we explore the reasons why Janelle Brown has always felt Meri was disconnected from the Sister Wives family. From personality differences and early marriage dynamics to personal struggles and emotional isolation, the story behind their relationship reveals the subtle, yet significant ways in which polygamy has impacted their individual lives and their connection with each other. The foundation of their relationship, a complex start. When Janelle Brown married Kody, she was introduced into a plural marriage dynamic that was already in place. Meri, Kody's first wife, had been married to him for several years before Janelle joined the family. As the first wife, Meri held a position of precedence in the marriage, and Kody's relationship with her set the tone for the subsequent marriages. However, this didn't mean that the introduction of new wives, like Janelle, would be easy or seamless. Janelle entered the family with a clear understanding of polygamy, having been raised in a similar lifestyle. Her mother was a member of a polygamous family, and Janelle was familiar with the dynamics of plural marriage. This made her adjustment to life in Kody's family somewhat smoother. Janelle was pragmatic, grounded, and focused on building a strong, functional family unit. She quickly adapted to life with Kody and Meri, taking on the role of a wife who was both emotionally independent and committed to raising children with the shared goal of creating a stable home. On the other hand, Meri's position as Kody's first wife was more emotionally complex. Meri had always imagined that her place in Kody's life would remain paramount, and the introduction of new wives brought with it a deep sense of jealousy and emotional insecurity. For Meri, sharing her husband with other women was difficult to process. She had idealized polygamy as a spiritual and emotional journey, and the reality of Kody's growing relationships with other women left her feeling neglected and sidelined. While Meri's emotional needs often revolved around Kody's validation and attention, Janelle approached the situation with more detachment. She viewed polygamy from a practical standpoint and did not feel the same intense emotional attachment to Kody as Meri did. Janelle was more concerned with building a family with shared resources and mutual respect than with competing for Kody's affection. From the outset, these differences in emotional needs began to create subtle barriers between the 2 women. Janelle's focus on practicality often clashed with Meri's emotional volatility, setting the stage for a relationship marked by emotional distance. Janelle's perspective: pragmatism versus emotional needs. Throughout the years, Janelle has repeatedly spoken about her perception that Meri was emotionally disconnected from the larger family. In interviews and on the show, Janelle has explained that she never felt a deep emotional bond with Meri, despite their shared life under Kody's roof. Janelle often characterized Meri as someone who kept her emotions to herself and was not as communicative as the other wives. "Meri and I are very different," Janelle said in one interview. "She's someone who keeps things bottled up, and I'm someone who talks about everything. So, when things are tough, I deal with them by talking, and that's not how Meri operates." Janelle's straightforward and grounded approach to life in a plural marriage contrasts sharply with Meri's introspective, sometimes solitary nature. While Janelle thrived on openness and communication, Meri often found herself withdrawing into emotional isolation. This gap in communication styles made it difficult for the 2 women to connect emotionally, and Janelle felt that Meri's tendency to retreat into herself only deepened the divide between them. While Janelle was able to focus on her relationships with her children, her shared responsibilities with Kody, and her role in the family unit, Meri struggled with feelings of loneliness and neglect. These feelings, coupled with Kody's attention being divided between multiple wives, caused Meri to seek validation in ways that Janelle could not always understand. This emotional disconnect was only exacerbated when the family faced challenges, such as the decision to move to Las Vegas, the dissolution of Meri and Kody's marriage, and Meri's decision to leave the family temporarily. Meri's emotional journey within the family also made it difficult for her to integrate into the larger sister-wife dynamic. While Janelle built a close connection with other wives like Christine and Robyn, Meri remained distanced from the group. Her inability to connect with other women in the family, particularly with Janelle, led to more isolation. The strain of Kody's attention and Meri's emotional turmoil. As time passed, Meri's emotional struggles with polygamy became more apparent. Kody's relationships with his other wives, especially Christine and Robyn, began to take center stage, and Meri's sense of priority within the family began to fade. This decline in Kody's affection towards her compounded Meri's feelings of rejection, which she struggled to communicate to the other wives. The introduction of Robyn, the fourth wife, added additional strain to the already frail relationships within the family. Robyn's arrival marked a shift in Kody's focus, and her role in the family dynamic became a significant source of tension, especially for Meri. While Janelle adapted to Robyn's arrival with relative ease, seeing it as another opportunity for the family to grow, Meri's emotional resistance created more friction. Meri's struggle with Kody's shift in attention and her inability to express her emotions openly led her to retreat even further from the family. The lack of transparency and emotional openness only made it harder for Janelle to form a meaningful relationship with Meri. Janelle's ability to bond with Robyn, Christine, and even Kody, contrasted sharply with Meri's emotional distance from the family. In the later seasons of Sister Wives, viewers began to see the toll these emotional struggles took on Meri. Her increasingly quiet and withdrawn demeanor suggested that she was facing personal turmoil, but her reluctance to confide in Janelle or the other wives made it difficult for them to understand the depths of her pain. As Meri's isolation grew, so did the emotional divide between her and Janelle. The catfishing scandal, a breaking point. One of the most dramatic moments in Sister Wives history came when Meri was involved in a catfishing scandal. In 2015, it was revealed that Meri had been duped by an online predator who posed as a man named Sam Cooper. Meri developed an emotional and romantic connection with this person, unaware that they were, in fact, a woman using a fake identity. When the truth came out, Meri was left embarrassed and ashamed, and the entire family was forced to confront the aftermath. This scandal was a breaking point for Meri, and it exacerbated the emotional disconnect between her and the rest of the family. Janelle, who had always taken a more practical approach to family life, found it difficult to understand Meri's actions. Janelle expressed disappointment in Meri for engaging in an online affair, but she also recognized that Meri had been emotionally isolated and struggling for years. While Janelle's reaction was one of concern and frustration, she also expressed empathy for Meri's situation, understanding that her emotional withdrawal from the family had led her to make poor choices. In the wake of the scandal, Meri's relationship with Kody deteriorated further. The couple's once strong bond was strained to the point of near dissolution, and Meri's emotional isolation became even more apparent. Janelle, who had always maintained a steady emotional equilibrium, could not relate to Meri's feelings of rejection and abandonment. The aftermath, continued isolation and diverging paths. After the scandal, Meri's relationship with Kody remained in limbo. While she continued to participate in family events, her emotional connection to Kody, and to the rest of the family, was severely damaged. Her attempts to reconnect with Kody were met with resistance, and the emotional distance between her and the other wives only grew. Janelle, in contrast, continued to focus on maintaining her own emotional stability. She remained close to Christine and Robyn, forming strong bonds with both women. Janelle's relationship with